Okay, next question, which we kind of like touched on this a little bit at the beginning, which is like talking about adult only trips, right? And how great Disney is for adult only trips. And this was what can you suggest for an empty nester taking an adult only trip? Um, and I will say, as someone who has done Disney with kids and without, a kidless Disney trip is amazing.
It's absolutely amazing.
Hello, and welcome back to If It Were Up to Us, the podcast where we rethink and reimagine the ultimate Disney theme park destination. I am your host, Chrissy, and this is my co-host, Stephanie. Hey, Steph, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I feel like the hey, Steph is now part of the intro. Like, if
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not there, I
100%.
feel weird about the episode. Um, I'm good. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. You guys may notice if you're watching us on YouTube, Steph and I had decided to get comfortable for this episode because we were tired of sitting with our microphone stands, and this episode is just going to be one that is super cash and just I think it'll be fun. At least it'll be fun for us.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
yeah, so we're sitting back in our chairs, getting comfy and ready for this episode. Before we get into it, any news or updates? What's going on in
Ooh.
your world? What's happening in the Disney world?
Okay, well, nothing's really happening in my world except I'm still, if you remember last week when we recorded, I was getting sick.
Yes.
Still sick. I'm pretty sure it has now turned into a sinus infection
Oh no.
because I have a migraine and everything is like clogged. It's fine. We're fine. It's good.
Power on, soldier through.
That's right. And personally, I think I decided that from now all the way through January, I do not have a free weekend.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I think the only free weekend is like right before something big is happening that we'll talk about, on a different episode. But like, I think that's the only one. And that one might not even be free because it's around my mom's birthday, so it's fine. But Disney related, I saw that we are getting updated animatronics
Yes.
in Frozen to
Yes.
not have those weird screens that we currently have.
Yeah. I also saw that, and then I was watching a friend of the show, we'll call him the Dapper Manatee, talking about like how we're supposed to be excited about this, and really it's just like Disney fixing their mistake. And honestly, I kind of feel the same way. Like, we got gypped on this one, considering
right.
the other. First of all, animatronics are Disney's game, so the fact that we didn't have actual like sculpted animatronics is silly
That's right.
in the first place. But yeah.
Have you ever been on the ride when one of their faces is not working?
So I have not, but I heard it like, just, is it blank or is it like,
Yeah, it's just
that's
blank.
so
There's just like
weird.
nothing going on. And I feel so bad for it being someone's like first time riding this ride, or like a little girl who's so excited and then Elsa doesn't have a face. And you're like, cool.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
wow.
so weird. Yeah,
No, honey, we'll go meet her so you can see she does have a face.
right. Yeah. I feel like that's when you instantly have to like fix with the kid because, yeah, that's kind of creepy. I mean, at
Yes.
least like, because I've been on the Little Mermaid ride when Ariel like breaks down, and she's just frozen.
Not moving her little
Yeah.
tail.
And at least that's something, like it still
Yeah.
looks like Ariel.
She's
and
blinking still.
Yeah. But at least, like, yeah, but to have no face, that's a little weird. Although it's not as bad as the time that the Ursula animatronic, like, her face fell off.
Ooh. That wouldn't be traumatizing at all.
Right, yeah.
That's
I was
wild.
like, I can't. I would be like, look away, look over here.
And
So
while I am
creepy.
so excited, this is obviously, like you said, a needed update. I feel like, are we doing too much, Disney? How much of these parks are actually going to be closed? Like, you're closing down Rock and Roller Coaster to retheme that. Dinosaur's closing, so you can do that. The rest of Dino Land is gone. There's walls up in every single park right now, except for Epcot, which is funny because it was walled for how many years?
Yeah, so many years. So many years.
There's even walls in Hollywood Studios between Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge. They're, I think, adding a new, allegedly, this is rumored, snack cart or something. So yeah, it's just walls. And like we thought, the Magic Kingdom built really tall walls in the rivers of America, so you cannot see in at all now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that whole space is gonna be weird. Yeah, I feel like they need to maybe do. I'm happy with you announcing some of this stuff, but like we don't have to do the work on it all at once. And
maybe the animatronic will be quick. Like maybe, not
yeah,
a
I feel like
long...
that maybe is an easy swap out. The question is, do they keep like the body of the animatronic and just swap out the heads, or is this a whole new animatronic that has to go in and get programmed?
Yeah. And it should be quite easy because we already have them. We just need to duplicate them. We'll see. We talk like this is such an easy thing. Like,
this is like, just swap it out. Yeah,
yeah, big deal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do it overnight. You decorate an entire park. You switch it from Halloween to Christmas.
Yeah,
let's make this happen.
Do impossible things all the time. So this is nothing.
nothing big. Just make it happen. Yeah.
Well, I guess that kind of brings us to the whole point of kind of this episode and this podcast, where we really don't have any authority to talk about any of this.
Exactly.
And yet here we are, we're doing it. And so, yeah, which, I mean, honestly, that's one of the questions that we have for today. And that brings us to today's episode, which is a Q&A episode. Yeah, so we put it out on social media for you guys to send us the questions that you've got, or share with us some of your, hot takes and things like that. And we actually had quite a few questions come through, so I'm really excited for that. And then I also asked our honorary producer, ChatGPT, to come up with some interesting ones that we maybe haven't thought of before or answered before. And I will say, from that aspect, like, there's a lot that we've already talked about. Like, ChatGPT had quite a few questions that I was like, oh, we've already talked about that. Like, I know what her answer would be for that because we've already talked about it. Or so
yeah.
So I tried to kind of pick some of the best ones, and hopefully if you sent one in, like, we'll talk about it today. And then we also want to know what your answers would be for these questions. So just before we get into it, definitely leave us a comment. Head over to our Facebook page, drop us a line, let us know what you're thinking. And yeah. Should we take a quick break and then we'll get into it?
Sounds good.
Okay, good. Okay, well, so we're back. Out of all of the questions that we had, I kind of split them into a couple of segments, just to kind of keep like things together. But I thought we could maybe start with our own kind of humble beginnings and some questions that we had around maybe us and us personally.
Okay.
So hopefully you're ready to bear it all and, tell.
I don't know about bear it all, but I'll dish it out.
Okay, good. All right. The first question that we had was, like, how did we meet? I know we've talked about how we came up with the origins of this podcast, but I don't think we've ever really discussed how we met. So do you want to answer that question?
Sure. I mean, we knew about each other digitally online, but on a November day during a hurricane. No, the hurricane was coming. This is right before the hurricane happened. Chrissy and I actually met at a conference, and what you may not know, or maybe you've gathered from hints here and there, but both of us are actually travel agents together. Like, not together, but we're travel agents in the same agency, and we met at a conference back in 2022.
It seems like forever ago.
Yeah. It honestly does. It's 3 years ago, but it feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and we got, like, hurricaned in during the conference, and so, that just bonds people together.
It does. It really does.
But yeah, so that's how we met. And then the follow-up question to that was, why do we know so much about Disney? And to be honest, it's because we're travel agents. Like, we are supposed to know this stuff. We specialize in Disney destinations, and so it's our jobs to know everything so that you don't have to, as
That's right.
clients. Yeah. Um, so yeah, not to give ourselves an unintentional plug, but if you agree that we know a lot of things and we could be helpful, reach out to us. We put our like social media tags on every episode, unless I forget, because I know there are a few I have. But
Oh
yeah,
my
reach out to
gosh.
us, right?
Yeah, and it was never something we were like intentionally hiding. It's just that as travel agents who are promoting ourselves constantly, it feels like
Hmm.
sometimes like on social media, it's nice to have a place where we can just chat about Disney and not make it feel like we're just trying to get business. Like we
Yeah.
truly are doing this for the fun of it. Like we love it. We said from the very beginning that didn't matter if anyone listened, we would keep doing it as long as we found fun in it. So that is kind of why we've kind of just kept that to the side. And if you would have clicked any of our social medias, you would have found it right away.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully none of you feel like we kept a secret from you. But yeah, we wanted to do something kind of for ourselves and for fun, and I think Steph explained it really well. So um, yeah. Okay, so here's one that kind of, I guess, what first got you hooked on Disney? What or who first got you hooked on Disney?
I think I may have said this, but the very first time I went with my brother and his family, and they were so little then. Now they're humongous. This was in 2016, so 10 years ago, basically. And the first time they met Aladdin, and they're
Mm,
both crying in the line because they're like so excited and like nervous and all of these things. And watching them meet, oh my gosh, I'm like, my god, this is the most magical thing like ever. And that's truly what hooked me. That's what got me in. And then yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I like for me, I grew up watching like the old school like Disney VHS, all the princess movies, just kind of everything and then visiting the parks as a kid like definitely got me hooked. Like seeing the things that I had seen on TV and then seeing those things in real life and yeah. And then, certainly the magic of like those experiences kept it going for me and um yeah, it's definitely kind of changed as I've gotten older. But the magic has always been like in Disney for me. So
Yes.
yeah.
And I will say the one episode of Full House where they said it was Disneyland, and then you later find out it was actually at Disney World.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
That one, that did me in too. And I think I remember sitting there and saying, like, oh, I'll never go. It just never was like a topic of, we lived in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, we were very close. It wouldn't
Yeah.
have been,
That
but
far
we
of a drive.
chose as
Yeah.
a family to go camping. Like, our thing was camping growing up.
Hmm.
So it was never really on the radar at all. So I do remember sitting there watching that, like, oh yeah, I'll never go, but that looks so cool. And then yeah,
And now look at you.
now look at me.
Fun fact though, because you talked about like Aladdin and then you talked about Full House. Steve from Full House is Aladdin.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
What a
Full circle
weird
moment.
like circle moment for you.
Yeah.
But now, of course, like now when I learned that, and I mean, I guess you kind of always knew it when you know the two, but like sometimes you just don't put. But now I can never unsee Steve like in every time I watch that movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Um. Okay, here was one. Do you guys identify as Disney adults?
Sure. I'll take that placard.
Yeah.
I'll wear it with a badge of honor. I I don't know what it is about the world, and now it has become the thing to like make fun of and
Hmm.
hate on Disney adults, and I think it's funny. And I also think there are people that are extreme, not for liking Disney, but I'm talking those ones that like would push a kid out of the way to like get a better view of the parade and, would be a jerk to families there. But like the most of us are not. I would step aside any day of the week to let a child stand in front of me at a parade. I would, do anything
Yeah.
to like make sure they have a good experience. So, but it's so funny. So yeah, sure, I'll identify as a Disney adult.
Yeah, I 100% identify as a Disney adult. You know, I mean, like I have this saying, like, I can't be in the state of Florida and not go to Disney World. Like, that's just not a thing for me. But I really do feel like it rings true. Very rarely am I in the state of Florida and don't go to Disney. But yeah, I mean, I think I've talked about it on other episodes where like Disney is kind of my safe place. It's the one place I can, you know, forget about the outside world and the chaos and the crazy and all the things that are kind of happening. And I think some people go to a therapist. I go to Disney, and it's probably the same price. No, but you know, like it's just, yeah, it's a place where I can go to kind of escape, and there's always something new. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I feel
and
like
I just
Disney
love
adults,
movies and yeah,
yeah, Disney adults have Disney, like that's their thing. Some men have like sports, that's their
yeah,
thing. Like if their team loses, they break their TV. Like, you know, like we all have our things. So I don't know why. And if they would actually just pay attention for like, I don't know, a half a second and realize that even Walt said himself, like, this was not meant to be a kids park. Like, this is for everyone.
yeah.
So, and like, there's alcohol at these parks. So it's not just a kids park, please.
Yeah. I know I've got a question kind of coming up about that here when we kind of get to parks questions. So, okay, here's where we get to some of the kind of you versus me, who would do what questions that we had. So I think I know the answer to this one, but who out of the both of us is most likely to cry over a Disney story?
Probably you.
Yeah, I was going to say probably me, and then you'll start crying because I'm crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're both criers, but like, yeah, if
Oh, for
somebody,
sure.
if I'm out in like my everyday life and people find out that I like do Disney and they tell me a story, like I will
Oh my
cry.
gosh.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah,
at my little, now you'll know that my event that I did for Small Business Saturday was to promote my travel agency business. I had the height chart taped to one of the what the heck are those things called that hold the canopy up, the legs?
Yeah, like the yeah.
And a little girl came running up and she's like, oh my gosh, and she's pointing at all the rides that she loves, and she's like, I'll get to ride this one next. I'm sitting there crying while I was standing. I was like just standing there like tearing up because it was just this, it was so cute, and that like solidifies why I like to do what I like to do. I'm like, I want to send everyone to Disney. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, like, oh, I want you to experience that. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
I gave her one of her own little growth charts to take with her. Like,
Good.
even though they weren't going to plan a trip with me, they are pros. They go all the time. Like,
Yeah.
he still took my card and everything. But, like, I was like, yeah, take one, put it up on your wall so you can, you know.
But, you know,
Oh, man.
now they'll think of you and maybe they'll say, hey, we know what we're doing, but my friends don't. Here's a card.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime I can like spread the magic and yeah, I'm all for it. So
We want to hear all your stories.
yeah, give us your
I
stories.
love them.
Maybe we should have a challenge to see who in our comments can make us cry with their story.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I want to know
Share
about
your story,
everything.
make us cry, please. Okay. Out of us, who's the planner versus who's the let's swing it type?
Is there one of us that's not a planner?
No, I don't think so.
I'm just wondering. I feel like
We
we're
literally
both
do this. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we both could be both. Because I feel like neither of us would be like, oh, like they're super passionate about wanting to do that. I'd be like, okay, yeah, cool, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if I was like, well, actually, I kind of wanted to do this, but I'd be like, oh, no, that's great. Like, I can be.
Yeah, we're
either.
planners, but we're also like in the moment flexible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I certainly would never show up to a park without a plan.
Like some sort of idea of what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? Who would spend all their money in World of Disney?
I'm guessing you.
Yeah, it's definitely
Oh,
me.
no.
Yeah, I think.
feel like you were reserved in Disneyland, though. I don't feel like you spent.
Okay, I was reserved in Disneyland because I had just left Disney World. So
That's right.
don't
And you
forget
had a
about that.
whole thing of stuff
Yeah,
that your
no.
mom had to ship
Yep,
you. Never mind.
I had my mom drive all of the things back to her and like her house in Florida and ship it to me. So yeah, no, I'm I'm nuts. And I always have this like little, call it my little Jiminy Cricket or my conscience or whatever. But like, do you really need that? And no, you don't really need that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I need it. I want it. Give it.
That's
The
fun.
more I can make things Disney shaped in my life, the happier I am. So I'm nuts. Okay. How about who's the most competitive, or who would be the most competitive in Disney trivia?
No, I
I
feel like
know
we're
that.
both pretty. We both played trivia with the agency, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you were,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. No, I got second, by the way. Just saying.
I did not get second or third or
But
fourth.
some of the things were wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I remember, so probably both of us, because we were probably both like, actually, that wasn't even the right answer.
Yeah.
Like one
Yeah.
of
We
them
were
was,
both like making corrections during the game.
yeah, like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That would be fun. We should have like a Disney trivia thing.
Be
'Cause-
so fun. Here's the thing. I'm super competitive, especially when it comes to like Disney and trivia and stuff.
yeah.
But like I know all the obscure things. Like I don't really like your regular stuff. I feel like I just don't know as well.
Your
Like I'm the
regular
yeah,
stuff.
like I'm you know like if you asked me like when a certain movie came out, I would not know the answer. But if you ask me like
Probably me either.
what inspired that movie, like I would know that. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah, I got you. No, because you're the history girl, like, and you're the like
yeah.
fact, like type thing.
Yeah, I want to know things other
Yeah,
people don't know.
yeah. No, I love my husband and I. We haven't done it in a while. Maybe we should. Inside the Magic on YouTube does Disney Jeopardy,
Oh,
and I love Jeopardy, like all things. And if it's Disney Jeopardy, that's amazing. That's actually what I did to prepare for trivia. Is we did Jeopardy like multiple times, and
well,
like
that's
two of them a
smart.
night. Yeah, but no, it's super fun. You should do that. And I like the geo guesser too, where you guess like it zooms in
Mm-hmm.
on a like specific part. I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm. This is just making me realize I have not watched Jeopardy in so long.
Oh man, I like to go to my parents' house because I don't have cable to watch Jeopardy. Just for that reason.
Um,
Yeah.
Side note, tangent, whatever. Like, are you a game show kind of person?
Well, yeah. I mean, I grew up like my parents like ritual. It was always Wheel of Fortune came on before Jeopardy where we lived. I know it's different depending on where you live in the country, but so that's what we watched. And I feel like my mom watched other game shows. But yeah.
Yeah, I think the only game show that we ever really watched growing up was Wheel of Fortune. But in my house, like that came on, I think it was like during dinner time because we were one of those families that had like a small TV in the kitchen. And like my mom would watch her news and stuff. And like to this day, if I hear like the NBC nightly news like thing, I get
Oh, yeah,
hungry.
yeah.
It's like a Pavlov's dog response because like she would have that on and she would be cooking dinner. But then I feel like then like Wheel of Fortune came on either right before that or right after it, and we always would tell my mom like you need to go on that, and so. But
Oh yeah,
if they had
Price
a
is Right.
Disney
That was the other
version
one.
of Wheel of Fortune,
Yeah.
killing it, killing it.
I think they do actually. They do.
I know they've recorded in Disney a few times, so
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
okay. Any other questions that you have about like us, like personally, or before we kind of move on?
I think so.
Cool. Okay, this next section of questioning is behind the mic. So this is a little bit more information about like our podcast and just like some questions around like recording and what we do when we do this. So let's see. Oh, what's something about recording this podcast that listeners would be surprised to know? I know, right? I'm like,
We don't actually move when we take a break. Like we just sit here.
that's actually true. It's really just an excuse for us to like resituate or grab some water. And then most of the time when we take a break, we're talking about what we're going to talk about.
Yes. Or something
Yeah.
completely side note like that came up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes our breaks are longer, like real long. And you
Sometimes our
just
breaks
don't know
are
that.
very long. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, sometimes we have to break because, and I know we've said like we've done the amount of times we edit out the podcasting from home stuff because something, kids, dogs, visitors, the episode where I There was an episode where we paused for 45 minutes because I was trying to find my pair of ears when I talked about being a
Yes.
grand marshal, and I still can't find them. So
No. And when you answered the door for your neighbor with the ears on. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. We were
Yeah.
getting my neighbor's mail, and he came to collect it, and we were in the middle of podcasting, and I answered the door forgetting I had ears on. So fun times. I'm sure he thought I was crazy.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, and also, like, we do this all ourselves. We have no production team. Yeah, we research, we do everything ourselves. The only bit of assistance we have is our good friend ChatGPT.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, let's see. Oh, who's more likely to go off topic during an episode?
Both of us.
Yeah, I feel like, both of us are ready and willing to tangent at any point.
Exactly.
Okay, let's see. I think we kind of talked about this one, but like if there was anything that listeners would be surprised to know about how we record. And I don't think there is. I mean, I think that goes for the same thing about like what would they be surprised to know? Yeah, we're recording from home. We just roll with it. What has been like our funniest or most chaotic recording moment so far?
They're all funny.
I know. I mean, from the spider during the Animal Kingdom episode.
Yeah.
Neighbors and things, and
I forgot about you in the pausing for 45 minutes to find your ears, and you never found them.
I never found them, and it still haunts me to this day. Like, I know they are somewhere. I just don't know where they are.
I hope you find them.
I mean, they wouldn't have.
We also are in
two
two different time zones, so that kind of poses not a ton of challenges, but it is like, I mean, yeah. Like today I told Chrissy, I'm like, I need like an extra 15 minutes. I need to eat some lunch. Because we record all the way up until my kids get home from school. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we also stop and then talk for a long time after.
Yes, we do. Most of the time, like our full like recordings unedited are like 2.5 hours long because we just sit and talk. Yeah, and we record a week ahead of time. So putting it out there, this will never be the podcast to get like your most recent updated news on things. But this will be the podcast to get our unfiltered opinion on what is happening.
That's right. We are not a news station. We are an opinion station.
That is right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we record a week ahead of time. Sometimes we'll record a bit further because we're busy people who have work and lives and children, and so we just kind of fit this in wherever we can, and yeah,
and we literally schedule it.
Yeah.
Like weeks in advance, we schedule when we're going to do this.
Yeah, when we're gonna do it, what we're gonna talk about. Okay, let's see. What is your favorite episode we've done so far?
I think it was the Magic Kingdom Memories one, maybe.
Yeah, like our first top 5 and recap, and
I think so.
Yeah, that was our first episode where we really just like chatted kind of like this.
Yes.
And didn't have to research or build a map. Yeah. So I feel like that's, which I'm just now realizing, I don't think we ever really made maps for Animal Kingdom. So we might have to go back and do that and put it on our Instagram and Facebook so people can see.
I don't think we did it did we do it for Epcot either?
I think I had a map, but I don't think we ever put one together that was like our final agreed upon version between the two of us.
Maybe we just do it all at the end.
Yeah, probably. Because, and also like, because we don't know what we're doing when it comes to like podcasting, we change how it works. And
yes, we make the rules anyways.
So. Yeah, we make the rules. Anyways. Okay, how about this one? Who, if we could co-host with any character, who would it be?
Do you have somebody?
I mean...
You're going to say Belle, aren't you?
No. I was not going to say that. I was totally going to say something different. Okay, my thought would be like I would love to have Mickey here with us, but because I'm a Mickey obsessed, but he's not a face character, so he doesn't really talk a whole lot if we're going in practical sense. So I would have to say it'd have to be a face character. And I feel like Belle has some stories. So maybe.
I don't know.
Okay, how about this? If there was anybody in the Disney world, not like influencer or content creators, but anybody like in the Disney sphere, who would you like to maybe guest on our podcast or co-host with us?
I don't know why my brain went right to Tony Stark, but like I can't think of his actual name right now. For some reason, Robert Downey Jr. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why my brain immediately went there. I don't know why it did though.
Listen, in our imaginary world where we make the rules, that is logical.
I just feel like he'd be cool to talk to.
Yeah. And I feel like he would also have a lot of opinions about things.
Ooh. Maybe we just go with good old Jesse. What the heck's his name? That loves Disney just as much as us, from Full House. What's his actual name?
Stamos.
Yes.
That would be a good one. Yeah, John Stamos,
he
Neil Patrick Harris would be good. In my mind, I had Joe Rohde.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
I would just love to pick his brain about things. Or Bob Gurr. That would be great too. One of the original Imagineers, responsible for pretty much every vehicle in Tomorrowland.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be good. Okay. Any other podcasts like behind the mic questions that you can think of? Anything you want to share with the group?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, let's get into park tips before we kind of get into some of the real specific ones about like Disney parks questions. And then I've got a section about like our tips, that questions that we had based on like our actual experience. But before we get to that, just like what special, nope, that's the wrong section. I'm gonna leave this in just because we talked about how we edit this thing, but I usually would have edited that out. Okay, have you tried a Dole Whip with a shot of rum in it at the Tamu Tamu refreshments?
I have
in
not.
Animal Kingdom. Me either. But we also know I don't go to Animal Kingdom, so
yeah. So if anything is in Animal Kingdom, just assume Chrissy has not done it.
I haven't done it. Nope. No, but it sounds amazing. Like, why would you not want to put Dole Whip with rum?
I need to just have a regular Dole Whip, too, because I cannot remember the last time I had one. It's been a long time. I remember having one either right before or right after they met Aladdin on that first trip. Mm-hmm. And then I think like one other time after that. I think maybe twice ever in my life. So I need to just have a regular one.
I remember during COVID, Disney was putting out like copycat recipes, and I think they put out a Dole Whip one, and I tried to make it. It did not work out. I'll be honest.
Pinterest
I did that one, and I did the gray stuff. The gray stuff was better.
Yeah.
But it wasn't great. But also, be honest with you, I'm just not the cook in my family. My husband is incredible like cook, and
Same here. This is the tangent.
Yeah, it's like,
it stresses me out. So it stresses me out so much. I'm more of a baker where you put all the ingredients together, pop it in the oven, and just wait. Yeah. I cannot be like chopping over here, sauteing over there, all at one time. It's too much. I can't do it. It stresses me out. I actually hate it so much. So my husband is the chef.
Yeah, we subscribed to some of those like meal kit things, and the instructions always made me so angry because it would give you the instructions for one step and then it would say, while this cooks, do something else. But the thing is, if I do something else while this is cooking, this will burn. So it would be like, this recipe takes 20 to 30 minutes. Lies. This recipe takes 60 minutes and everything is cold when it gets to the table. Not that I'm a bad cook. I can cook. I just...
No, I went through a thing there for a while because I was, staying at home where I was like, okay, I'm going to make cool recipes, like, and do something different every week. And anytime I saw how long it's supposed to take, I just added 45 minutes to it.
Yep. Yep.
Because if I need to chop something, that's going to take me a long time. I don't know what it is. Me with a knife,
Yeah.
not good.
Nope.
So, I mean, I don't cut myself or anything, but I think because I'm so nervous about chopping a finger off or something that I just am so slow at it.
Yep.
Yeah, no. It's just basic things. Tacos, got you.
Yes.
Got you. Spaghetti, done.
Those are my 2 favorite meals to cook. So we just had spaghetti last night because it was my turn to cook. So
that's exactly it.
Okay, how about this? Do we always get Memory Maker?
When I go with my family, yes, I do.
Prior to ride photos being included in Lightning Lane, I got Memory Maker just for that, regardless of whether or not I went with my family, because I just didn't want to have to worry about like purchasing individual ones or, and then, but yeah, yes, I get Memory Maker, and this is a ahead of time pro tip, but I also am a big fan of the Capture Your Moment photo sessions, which when you do those and you have Memory Maker, you get all of the photos. So that's really, really nice to have, because Disney is such a busy place and you're doing so much, like making sure that you take time to stop and take a photo, or for everyone to be in the photo. Like half the time people go to Disney and it's the kids and one parent and never all of everybody in it together. Someone's always missing. So, and also Disney cast members will use your phone to take that photo. They'll take it and like with their cameras, but if you ask them, they'll take it with your cam or with like your phone or your camera too. So don't be afraid to do that. But yes, I always get Memory Maker. That way I don't have to worry about like remembering to ask or like not having ride photos or whatever. So I am on team yes. And buy it in advance instead of like when you're there on your trip.
Yes.
Yeah. This one, the way that this was phrased was one of my absolute favorites, which is, what is your favorite roller coaster at Walt Disney World and why is it Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah. Well, scene. Because it's absolutely amazing, and it literally, I have no notes. It is perfect in all ways, except for maybe it could, add a couple new songs here and there for these people like that go a lot. Hello. Privileged, but also yeah. No, and I would say a close second for me as far as roller coasters is Big Thunder Mountain. I love it. It's not like super thrilling or anything, but it's just fun. It's like you giggle the whole time you're on it type of thing. So
yeah, you do. Especially when you're like riding with somebody when there is like a size or height difference on Big Thunder Mountain, because like I know when I ride with my husband who is very tall, like the lap bar does not come down as far as it would if I was riding by myself, and so I am just scooching and like I'm like, okay, this is a little sketchy, but but you just can't help but laugh on that one. I would say my second favorite,
Seven Dwarfs Mine
Train. I was gonna say Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Ooh, I love Tron too, but yeah,
Tron is good too, but I love the mix of like dark ride and roller coaster, and I feel like it's a decently long coaster, and so
I just love going up. I think it's the second hill where it's like hi ho. Yes. I love it so much.
Yeah, and then have you ever noticed like when you're going up that hill that the shadows of the dwarves are climbing up the hill with you? It's so cool. That's so fun.
It is cool. It is. It's a really cool ride. They did a really good job with that one.
Okay, if you could go to only one international park, which one would it be?
Oh my gosh, I don't do this to me.
We've lived in this fantasy world of like making up our own parks for so long that like my immediate response is to say, okay, well, I would go to this, like the castle park of this one and like Tokyo Disney Sea, but like
I
feel
I think we're
you go
on the
ahead.
same answer. Go ahead now. You go.
I
You
feel like
go.
it would be Shanghai.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I knew we were gonna have the same answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I love their castle. I think their tech in their Pirates ride is like incredible. I think, yeah, there's just so much about what they've done in Shanghai that is like an improvement upon what we have in Disney World that like that would be the one that I would want to go see. And I feel like, but it's also a lot kind of similar. So I don't, yeah. I did always say though, and I like that I would actually like probably only go to Disneyland Paris, just because of the dog shake every time, every time in an episode.
On cue.
Like,
good job.
It's the hidden Mickey of our podcast is
Yes.
the dog shake.
Dog shake.
But I've always said like I think I would go to Disneyland Paris because the language barrier wouldn't be as bad, you know, to try to navigate, and also obviously like the attractions are most of the attractions are in the native language where the country is based and or where the park is based, and so. But I took French, so I feel like I can decipher a few things. So. But I do feel like for the experience and the attractions, it would be Shanghai. Yeah. What enchanting extra have you always wanted to experience but haven't had the chance yet?
Maybe the wild African trek where you like put on the harness and go over walk those planks over top of the crocodiles.
I will not be doing that. I want to do that, but I would not be because I'm terrified of heights. So.
Well, we're just gonna have a rum Dole Whip thing first.
Oh, yeah, then I'll be chill. That'll be fine. For me, I think it's gonna be a Disney VIP tour.
Oh yeah.
Like I want.
Is that considered an Enchanted Extra?
I think so. Yeah, tours and stuff are I think part of the Enchanted Extras like collection.
Okay, well then also I want to do Keys to the Kingdom.
My parents did that a couple of years ago, and they were so impressed. And I remember them telling me like, you got to go do it at some point because the history of it you would just find fascinating. And so like I want that knowledgeable tour guide, but I want to be able to like do everything, and that's what you get to do with the VIP experience. So yeah, that would be on my list. Some people might be experiencing that before others and might have to tell me how it goes. Anyways.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways. What's a park tradition that you do on every trip?
Oh, we always get the fish and chips in the UK pavilion. And even when I'm alone, I will get the French fries from there. I feel like that's probably our tradition. I don't know.
Mine, I would have to say, is like having a Mickey premium bar. Like I know that I can even get that like in a grocery store, but there's something about eating a Mickey shaped food in the park when it's hot. Yeah. That is there are so many things that I do over and over again. Like I could say like, oh, go get a picture in front of the castle or, you know, but like I 100% know that I would eat a Mickey bar on every trip. So that's my park tradition. And I also have this like really random, I don't think my sister's meant to do it, but when my son was there for his first trip, they gave him a whole Mickey ice cream bar when he was 1 year old, and then they took a video of it and it's in slow-mo. And so he's just like, like it's really funny. Like, I don't know if you meant to put it in slow-mo, but hey, we'll. Anyways, yeah.
It's funny.
So you make fun of your son.
Your
who fell
reenactment
down,
of that.
Yeah, but it's like I will see.
It was perfect,
because that's literally what it is. But yeah, you'll always remember your son falling down in the parks, and mine will always be the slow-mo video of my son eating at 1 year old. Yeah. Okay. That's all the questions that I had that are just like specifically around the parks and not like our opinions or tips. Anything else you want to share about that? Okay. Then we'll bounce back into tours. We had one question about what special tours do you recommend and what would we get rid of in our park. And I think we've addressed some of this kind of on a park by park basis. Um, and, but like, or what we like if like the things that we would do and get rid of and all of that kind of stuff. And I will say I don't think there's a single like special tour that I would say get rid of.
No, I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
If anything, it'd be like get more.
Yeah,
Do
add
more.
more tours.
Yeah.
Give me more things to do.
We want to see more. I want to be able to swim in the fish tank, like
Yeah.
without scuba diving because I'm not scuba diving. But like, I just want to swim for like a half a second. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, or let me like anything where I can kind of go behind the scenes and see how things
Yeah.
work, which I realize for some people might not be their cup of tea because they don't want to ruin the magic, but like let me see. I won't like
I want to know.
that's like seeing how they make magic is part of the magic to me, or for me, if that makes any sense. So yeah, of the tours that I would recommend, the Animal Kingdom, like animal encounter tours, are great. I think it's Up Close with Rhinos, Caring for Giants. Those ones are really great, especially if you have kids who love animals. And I will say, I think you have to be a smidge older than their like lowest or youngest age for those tours, just to really understand and
Mm-hmm.
maybe appreciate it a little more. But I think those are really cool. I think your like living with the land tour that
Behind
you
the
did.
scenes.
I think that was behind the seeds. I think that's a really cool one. And then any of the ones in Magic Kingdom. We had we got the chance to do the Walt's Main Street Story when we were in Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
That one was awesome.
Yes.
There was so much around, that park, which was so cool because that's the only park that Walt saw and touched and, like breathed in, you know what I mean? Like, so, that
And
one
we had
was
the
really
coolest
cool.
tour guide.
She was great, wasn't she?
Like, there is a photo of Walt with a cast member standing near him, and she looks like her. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it literally could be her. Mm-hmm. Like, because she was around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was really awesome.
The way that she spoke about how Walt like did things and all the things that like influenced him in creating the park and honestly like just influenced him in general, because that's so seen in Disneyland specifically, was so cool. And then to get to go into Walt's apartment was
So I changed my thing. I want her to come on our podcast. That's who
that would be awesome,
because I feel like she is just like us, where we get like sentimental about it. Like you could tell she was teary-eyed talking about certain things, and like definitely passionate about talking about like this wasn't just a job to her. Like it means a lot to her, and she likes to share about it. So yeah,
that would be a really good one, because she was very much like us in that mindset of like, and the way she just like she got us all to engage with each other too was really great.
Bunch of Disney adults sitting on a terrace.
right, a bunch of Disney adults sitting on a terrace that Walt and Lillian may or may not have sat and drank coffee on. I mean, sheesh. That was honestly, I feel like any of the tour guides, the cast members, that are specifically selected to do that, much appreciation to them, because they really do care about what they're doing and sharing that information with guests. When it comes to like special tours, I say do any of them, because they're, especially if you're doing a trip where it's like, whether you come to the parks a lot or this is like your one and done, your big one and done trip,
Which
do
it
a
won't
VIP
be.
tour. Yeah, do say that again.
Which it will not be.
Yeah, it won't be. Yeah, no, you're gonna be sucked in. That's why like people are like, oh, I'm gonna do a one and done, and I'm like, please don't make this your big. Like, don't. I'm gonna record this.
I'll do it too.
Yeah. um, but yeah, especially like you're like it will not be. Like I tell people all the time when they're like, yeah, we're gonna go big this trip, and I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. Like you're gonna want to come back. Like do not. If you have Disney money, make it at least 2 trips because you're not going to do everything this trip. Even if you're saying like, oh, I'm going to spend $15,000 and we're going to do it up and do it all, you're going to want to come back.
Yep.
And there's so much to do. You're not going to do it all. And now you've just spent all of your Disney money. Break it into 2 trips. Have 2 trips. But whether you're coming for just one big trip or you're coming for the 100th time, a VIP tour or a specialty tour is going to change your Disney experience. So I say do them all if you can. Okay, here was one. What advice do you have for people with food allergies to make it easier to navigate the parks? So my question to you is, do you have any experience helping people with food allergies? Because if you don't, I mean, I do, but I would love to hear what your thoughts are.
I don't have any like direct experience. My brother and his family just went this year. Well, they have been before, but this year, I guess, was like the trip that they felt like the allergy thing was such a breeze. It wasn't a big thing. Like, my nephew is allergic to a lot of things. Like, he is allergic to beef. Like, he is allergic to a lot. And I guess at Steakhouse 71, the chef came out and talked to them and made him his own little meal. Wasn't even on the menu. Made sure that this boy had something good to eat.
Yeah.
And I feel like, if anything, Disney, for the most part, is really excellent with allergens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are really good. I mean, there's obviously going to be, little things that happen, not like bad, but like maybe they didn't disclose every single one on the menu. But if you ask and you communicate, they will make sure.
Yeah. I was gonna I'll echo that 100% because my sister has she's celiac, so she has a gluten allergy, and it's not so much the having foods that don't have gluten in them. For her it's a lot of the cross contamination, and are using the same fryers to fry, the things that don't have gluten in them, but now you've got gluten in the, oil or whatever. And so so my specific advice is take a look at the menus. They're all online. And they have, like, if you're in the app, you can scroll down, you can see the allergy friendly menu items, and it will flag it for what is like which ones don't have certain allergens. So, you've got eggs, dairy, gluten, all of that kind of stuff, nuts, all of that kind of stuff in there. So before you go, take a look at the menus, know where you can kind of, at least in every park, know at least 1 to 2 places that you can safely eat. That being said, that's kind of for quick service and table service. However, like Stephanie said, for table service meals, if you've got food allergies, make sure that 1, you put that on your reservation when you make it, and 2, you remind the host at check-in. And then 3, you're going to also talk to your waiter. You're going to repeat it as many times as possible, so that everybody that you encounter knows that you have that food allergy. When you're telling the host, they're going to make sure they put a sticker on your little thing that the waiter is going to pick up when they get to your table, and that's going to show them that you have an allergy. Then that waiter, usually the waiter will ask you some questions about what type of allergy you have, how sensitive you are to that allergy, and then they're going to also ask you what are some of the safe foods that you can eat, and then if need be, you can also talk to your waiter and ask to talk to the chef, because like in Stephanie's case, that chef will come out and talk to you, and make sure that you have something to eat. And I will say, this is not just for the parks, but Disney Cruise Line is really great about that as well. So if you're thinking oh, I want a Disney cruise, but I can't eat at the buffet or anything like that, there's plenty for you to eat. They're really great with handling allergies. The one kind of caveat to that is food and wine, and the kind of food booth at the festivals. They're great about disclosing what items contain what allergies or allergens. Um, but at the same point, those are mass produced tiny plates. So the cross contamination that can happen um, is a little bit, you're in a tiny food kitchen. And so there is a little bit more that you need to be kind of cautious around that. But there's still plenty to eat for those who have allergies. They put those menus out ahead of time. So if you're going during a festival, make sure that you check those out. And then you can also just ask the cast members there when you're ordering, like, is this safe, or I have this allergy, and they'll walk you through it as well. So my best advice is to just make sure you're talking with the cast members who you're placing orders with. Make sure that they know that you have that food allergy, and they will flag it all. And like Stephanie said, I mean, 9 times out of 10, they're really great. But we're still human, and sometimes those things can happen. And but the more you talk to them, I mean, it's just like any other place that you would go. So just because it's a theme park doesn't mean that you need to worry any more than you would any time else that you'd be eating out.
Yes. Well, I muted myself because the neighbor is mowing his lawn, which is great.
I don't think I hear it, but
he must be further back in the house. But yes, as far as allergies, like, communication is going to be key here. And don't downplay your allergy because you're afraid of being an inconvenience. Like, don't.
Yes.
Like, if you can't have something even a little bit, you need to make sure they know how serious it is. So,
yep. Yeah. Okay, next question, which we kind of like touched on this a little bit at the beginning, which is like talking about adult only trips, right? And how great Disney is for adult only trips. And this was what can you suggest for an empty nester taking an adult only trip? And I will say, as someone who has done Disney with kids and without, a kidless Disney trip is amazing.
It's absolutely amazing.
Disney was good before I had kids, but Disney is even better now that, like, I have kids and I don't take them with me. It's even more of an escape. So my suggestions for empty nesters or somebody taking an adults only trip, whether you're still in the trenches of child raising or not, is do the things that you've wanted to do. Ride the rides that you haven't gotten to ride because your kids aren't tall enough. And then look into the specialty experiences that you can book. One of the ones that I did recently, back in March, was the tequila tasting course. And that was an incredible experience. And something that really you can only do on an adults only trip. When you have the time, you're not trying to fit it in between, nap times and rides and all of that. Go at your own pace, take it all in, but do some of those different, experiences. And it doesn't have to be all alcohol based. That's just where my brain goes because I'm a horrible human. I know there's a sangria class that you can take over at Coronado Springs, right? There are things in the resorts, in the parks. Some of these special tours, do some of those because, you can, especially in that empty nester phase where you may be, celebrating retirement and have a little bit of extra money to spend on those unique experiences. Do it. The other thing that I would say, for an adults only trip, if you can swing it, is upgrade to a deluxe resort and don't park yourself out. Spend a couple days at the resort, kind of indulge in those luxury amenities that they offer at some of those deluxe resorts. Some of my favorites are around Epcot because of the different amenities that they have there, but the monorail resorts are great for that as well. Just give yourself some of those other amenities where there's multiple dining options, multiple transportation options, and take in some of those things that you just don't usually find time to do when you're traveling with kids. What are your tips, Stephanie?
Pretty much the same. And I think my mind goes to doing some of those dining experiences that are a little bit more pricey, where you don't really want to pay for your kids to eat there and hardly eat, or still only want chicken fingers and french fries. Do those things, do your dessert parties and like the extra tours, and yeah, ride the rides. And I won't say that you won't be like standing in line for a ride and have like a family behind you and hear the little girl talking and not go, oh, man, kind of miss my kid like in this moment. But that quickly goes out the window when then you're getting off said ride and that child is now having a tantrum because they're hungry, and you're like, eh. And I also don't need to go and collect a stroller. Love that. So
yep. Yes. Yeah, the not having to, I was gonna say, take the smallest backpack that you need. And yeah.
Pack light.
Okay. One of the other ones that I think kind of tied into it, it was the same question. At the winter holidays, what tips do you have, or what tips do you have for must-haves? And I will say I have done the Christmas party. That's my biggest one. Like, definitely, if you're there for the winter holiday season, do the Christmas party. But other than that, like, take in all of the Christmas decorations. But I mean, other than that, like, I really haven't been there to experience like Christmas time. So any other tips? Like, I don't have firsthand experience, but those are my tips. If you can afford to do one of the holiday parties, whether it's the Christmas party at Magic Kingdom, or Jollywood Nights, do that. And then take in all the decor. What are your tips, or what's like on your must-do list for winter holidays?
Definitely. I mean, this year in 2025, you won't be able to see the gingerbread house at the Grand Floridian because it won't be there. But go see the gingerbread houses. The resort trees are usually the best trees, so go see all of those. In Disney Springs, they have different themed trees all throughout, and you get like a little map to go look and do those. Yeah, no, like, holidays, they're so amazing. Ooh, I love it so much.
Eat all of the like holiday themed snacks that you can.
Yes.
Yeah. Candlelight processional. I would make that a must do on your list. I have not done it personally, but I hear incredible things about it. I'm also just realizing my TV is on like the screensaver mode, and I just saw like the thing come down. And anyways, I just got distracted. Sorry. Yeah, the Festival of the Holidays at Epcot. You know, they have different versions of Santa, right? Like, you've got Père Noël, and I think there's one in, is it Germany? And I know there's one in France, Germany. There's a couple of them, but go hear their stories. They tell like how they talk about how they celebrate like Christmas in those countries, and so that's yeah, take advantage of everything, all of the holiday offerings that you can. And also, just from a standpoint of, if you're not native to Florida, pack in layers, because even though the temperature only gets down to 60, as Steph said today, told me it's 60 in her, like, where she lives, and she's over there wearing a jacket, and you know it's cold, but also it's still humid in Florida, so you're gonna feel like cold and damp when the sun goes down. And so pack in layers if you're traveling for like the winter holiday, because you don't want to be cold, but be thankful you don't have to wear a neck fan. So yeah,
I'm not going to pack a hoodie though, so that way I can buy one.
that's smart. It's a necessity.
Oops, forgot it. Shucks, now I have to buy one.
Darn it. Well, gosh dang it. Yeah. Okay, what essentials are in, what are your essentials that you're packing in your park bag?
Well, I should have grabbed one. I think I have a bag still all packed, but battery packs, like the MagSafe ones that just go to the back of the phone, because I ain't got no time for the plug thing. I do have a fuel rod as backup to those that I can change in the parks if I need to. Sunglasses, hand sanitizer, chapstick, the SPF one, not just, regular. I always try to, it's usually clipped on the bag, but those Disney like slap bracelet things. They're not called that, but I forget. They're mystery ones. They're little like things.
Yeah.
I have one of those usually either in the bag or attached to the bag so that if I want to take my ears off, it will hold them. What the heck else is in there? Sometimes I put a poncho in there, but I'm gonna be real honest. I'd rather just get wet than wear one of those, especially in the summer, because it's basically like you're like steaming yourself to death.
Yep. I was gonna say, yeah, it's a sauna bag.
Yeah, I'm good. I'd rather just be wet. I don't know. What else is in your park bag?
That's pretty much. I'm pretty much the same. I definitely my big like one must have is a portable charger because even if like if you're trying to like plan your day, even if you're winging it, like you still need whether it's mobile orders, lightning lanes, you're going to be doing something in the app, you know,
taking pictures,
quite a bit. Yeah, taking
too.
pictures, right? Like so yeah, I am a person who also has fuel rods, which, you know, you can change over in the parks and replace, which is really nice. Pretty much everything you said. I am the person that does put a poncho in their backpack. I have, not that we're sponsored by them or anything, but I have the Ponch ears. And so it's got a special clear piece of plastic on my hood that fits my ears. So that makes me very happy. And so I stick that in there. So I can still wear my ears and my poncho. And it folds up so like nice and neat at the bottom of my bag. So I will put that in there. I am the person that packs an extra pair of socks in my park bag usually. Unless, let me rephrase, when I am there for the whole day. If I am rope dropping to fireworks, I'm putting an extra pair of socks in my bag. Because if like my shoes get wet, like it's a weird thing. Like if they're, as long as they're not soaked, right? Like as long as I have a dry pair of socks, I feel cleaner about myself. Like I just feel better. So if my shoes get a little wet, like the second that because I'm one of those people, if my feet get wet, then I'm cold and I'm cold all day, regardless of like how hot it is outside. I just get like chills and I don't like it. And so for me, having a dry pair of socks, even if my shoes are just like a little bit damp, I'll wear the damp shoes and then like the wet socks. And then as my shoes start to dry out, like I just want a pair of dry socks. So that's like in my
bag. I feel like I know this about you, but are you a backpack wearer or like a belt bag, fanny pack person?
I have gone both. I tend to like the backpack better than like the belt bag. However, for a while I had one of those one strap backpacks, you know? And I did like that, but I found like it really wasn't enough space. And so I have downsized to like a Loungefly sized backpack, on my trips. But I love, like, I'm cool to wear a backpack all day as long as I'm not carrying around a bunch of stuff. So if I can chuck stuff in the backpack, like I will fill that thing up before because I just don't want to hold on to stuff. I don't want bags to be hanging and doing and So yeah, I'm an old school, like if you even get like one of those JanSport backpacks from your middle school days, like I say bring one of those. Obviously if you're traveling with kids, it's a little different because you have to have certain things for your kids, snacks, diapers, wipes, change of clothes, all that kind of stuff. And so in that case, like just bring your standard diaper bag. And honestly, even if I'm not traveling with my kids, a pack of wipes, it's just helpful. Like, if I know I've got a pack of wipes, like, I'm finding that just in general, in daily life, even if you don't have kids at all, go out, buy yourself, like, 3 packs of baby wipes, keep one in your car, like, one in your, like, purse backpack thing, one in your house. The amount of times, and maybe it's because I have kids and there's just sticky stuff everywhere all the time, but, like, just I will find, or if you got a cold, sometimes it's just nicer to not have to have like a dry, like blow your nose in a wet, like baby wipes are amazing for a multitude of reasons. Bring them, put them in your diaper or put them in your backpack and have baby wipes on you. Sticky surfaces at Disney, wipe tables down, just like use your hand sanitizer. Don't not bring your hand sanitizer but have a pack of wipes. They're just great for everything. So,
Noted.
okay, here we go. Ready?
Yes.
How about this one? I may be able to answer this one a little bit more, but what tips do you have for those with special needs, sensory issues specifically?
This is definitely a you question.
So again, we're not like trying to plug ourselves. That was not the point of this podcast, but I am a certified autism travel planner. And so I have taken specific training and I have done in-depth research on how to have the most successful park day for those with sensory issues and or special needs. So the first thing you're going to want to do is look into the disability access service that Disney has. It has been changed around in recent years, but this is specifically for those who have sensory or other cognitive issues standing in line for a long period of time. So basically you're definitely going to want to look into it and see if it applies for your specific situation. But the best example I can give is like for a child with autism who has trouble being kind of in confined spaces, standing in line for long periods of time. This is where this is going to be helpful for you. So the service basically allows you to go up and request a return time, much like a lightning lane gives you a return time and then you skip the line, or you get into the shorter line with lightning lane. It's the same process, but you once you have the disability access service associated with your ticket, you can request this at rides. You can hold on to one at a time, and I can go into a whole bunch of details around how this works, what qualifies, and all of that. But for the sake of not knowing all of the specifics with this question, I say look into that first. The other thing is you're going to want to utilize those times where the parks are less busy. So early morning entry, rope drop, like end of the day at night. If your child or your family member can handle, the lights and the noise, being in the parks and doing attractions during fireworks is a really great time because the lines are going to be shorter. Specifically around some of those other like sensory needs, I trust, like the things that I tell my families who are traveling with individuals who have those additional needs is what makes sense for your family. So again, not knowing all the details, if you've got individuals who are sensitive to sounds, make sure that you have those headphones. That's going to be helpful for fireworks, parades, anytime that they're, cavalcades, that kind of stuff. You're going to be able to hear when those are coming, know when those are happening, slap those on, and that will be helpful. I have heard a lot of people just go all day wearing them, and it helps to tune out all those additional sounds and things that can be extra overstimulating. There are also quiet areas in the park. The baby care centers are great for when you need to have a break. They're usually pretty quiet, 1 to 2 individuals or, like families in there at a time. And so when you need a break, getting over to a baby care center is great. Also, you can talk with the nearest cast member. If you're having a family member who is experiencing a sensory kind of meltdown, you can talk with the nearest cast member to find out where the closest quiet place will be. Most cast members know kind of where those are. I like to equate where the former smoking areas were in the parks. Because those were secluded. So I tend to give my families older maps in that case to say like, hey, if you're in this area of the park, this is where you used to smoke. It's kind of a secluded area. You're going to find people, it's also going to be usually shady, a lot more quiet. And so you can kind of look in and see that. The other thing that I tell families to do is to get on YouTube and look at ride POVs and daily just like, there are so many videos about people just walking through the parks, and that's all they do is they walk through the parks all day long. So you can look at the maps, and then that way you can kind of gauge exactly what the noise level might be like for the day. You can kind of become familiar with what a ride is. And then the last thing that Disney has done specifically is they have a section of their website for those with special needs. And you can go on there and there's a whole guide to all of the attractions and what the triggers might be for each attraction. It's going to tell you which ones are dark, which ones have loud noises, which ones have big drops, which ones have, extra lights. All of that kind of stuff is going to be in those guides. So you'll be able to kind of see exactly what Disney has included on those attractions and be able to decide whether or not that's going to be a triggering thing for the individual in your family. So there's lots. It's kind of a lot of prep work on the front end, but once you're in the parks, once you get there and you're in the parks, be flexible. And I say like it's the same tips I give to anybody, especially traveling with families, is be flexible. Don't be so rigid. Don't try to do everything in one day. Give yourself lots of breaks, and just kind of go with the flow and do what's best for your family in that moment.
Yes.
And this other one, I know you'll have probably better tips than I will because you've been multiple times with your children, and I've really only been like the one. What's your best tip for traveling with family?
Well, the number one is to be flexible. And you can have a general idea of what you want to get done in the parks, but you need to realize that that may not happen exactly how you have planned. The other thing is a lot of people are looking forward to that first time that their child is meeting Mickey Mouse, and I think I always tell families like don't expect it to go exactly how you think it will. A lot of times, even if it's a face character, a favorite princess or something, a lot of times your kid isn't going to react to that the same way that you are hoping. Sometimes it's a little bit more nerve-wracking, especially Mickey Mouse and Pluto and stuff like that. You may not get the reaction you want, just saying. But no, be flexible. I always tell all my families, pick 3 to 4 must-do things for each day that you're there. You're going to do more than 3 or 4 things, but these are things like you get home, and if you didn't do those, you would be devastated. You wouldn't feel like you got your money's worth. The trip wasn't worth it because you didn't do that. And those are the things you need to make the plan for on how you're going to accomplish those, whether you're getting multi-pass and getting lightning lanes for those attractions or doing them first in your day so you get them done. But for sure that. It just, I think we go anywhere with a kid, 1, 2, 5. You just have to be flexible and realize that the day may not go exactly as planned. And also, it is so overwhelming. I don't think people realize, even if you do not have children that have sensory issues, Disney is overwhelming. There is so much going on. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of noises. You're tired. It's hot. Doesn't matter what family it is. About 2:00, that's when fighting starts happening. And I don't mean like yelling fighting, but like that's when everybody in the family is grumpy. So I'm definitely pro take a break. And I say take a break even before you think you need the break. As soon as you like get this inkling, like moods are changing, that's when you need to not push it any further. You need to, okay, we either need to go have a sit down lunch if you don't want to travel back to your resort, or go back to your resort. Let your kids swim in the pool. That's my biggest one. I don't care if you have a pool in your backyard. Let your kids swim at the Disney resort. Please. They're going to want to. And also, your kids will like the pool more than they will like the parks. Like, they will love the park while they are in the park. But I'm telling you, even right after they get off Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, they're going to go, can we go back to the resort and go swimming? They will. They just want to swim. Let your kids swim. That's why you plan a rest day, do a whole pool day. But no. I think especially this is why adult trips are so great, is that you finally can do all the things you want to do. You can finally map out your day and stick to it exactly how you envision the day to go, instead of realizing, okay, you know what, my kid's not doing well, like they're grumpier today, they didn't sleep well last night, didn't get a nap yesterday, we're gonna have to call it quits earlier than I want to, we're gonna have to skip this ride even though I really want to do it. And I think if you just realize that that's going to happen, your trip will be better.
Yeah. 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 I say like I love the tip of like lower your expectations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Disney is a lot of money. Traveling to Disney is a lot of money. Don't make yourself miserable or your family miserable trying to get your money's worth. Because you will find that when you are more flexible and you have given yourself grace and your family members grace,
Yes.
it will feel like a much more magical trip. For
Yes.
sure.
And I feel like all those extra special magical moments are usually when you're least expecting them. They are when you're just chilling, you have no care in the world, and that's when they happen. That's when the cast member walks up and gives you a whole roll of stickers or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I think, I mean, even to this day, like looking back at my oldest first birthday trip, like some of our favorite memories were just hanging in the resort, like just
yes.
letting him be and play in the room. And, I mean, my whole family was there and we all got together in my parents' room, which was no bigger than a regular standard room. So we were all like packed in there, but it was just so much fun to watch the kids just be and hang out and, um, unwind. And yeah, so you're still going to have those magical moments of watching your kids watch the fireworks,
Yes.
and
And wave at their favorite character.
right.
Sometimes waving during the parade at their favorite character is better than like a
Yeah.
one-on-one meet and
Yeah,
greet.
100%. I mean, even I still get like, I made a fool of myself meeting Black Panther for the first time. So, not at all. If someone had been there expecting me to have this magical interaction, they would have been mortified, because it was so awkward. But like, it still happens as an adult. So, yeah, lower those expectations. Give yourself grace. Yeah. Also, when I read that like question about like what's your best trip or best tip for traveling with family, like in my head I was like, don't travel with family. Um,
Okay.
but I say that like, but honestly, like bring the whole family.
Yeah.
Extra hands make light work.
Bring grandma and grandpa.
Bring grandma and grandpa, bring the aunts and
Yeah.
uncles. Yes,
Yes.
because the more people you have there, like, and I've always said this, it's always easier to parent with more children and like more moms or like, like I
Yes.
just, more chaos. It just becomes easier to parent. I don't know what it is, but, yeah. And the last thing I would say is just remember, no matter what type of vacation you're taking or travel you're doing, it's just parenting in a different location. So like it is a vacation, but like you're still parenting, you're still dealing with everything you're dealing with at home. It's just in a new place. So definitely make sure you give yourself that grace and try to remember that. So let's have some reflections.
Okay.
What's the biggest lesson Disney has taught you?
Not everyone vacations the same.
Oh.
So my family, we're very go, 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 go,
Mm-hmm.
go, 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 even though I'm telling you to take a rest day and we will take like a rest morning. But I cannot lounge. I'm not. Even when we go to the beach, that's like a very half day type of thing, couple hour type of thing. I need to go do something. I need to go see something.
Yeah. You want to be engaged.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So not everyone, Disney's like Disney. So
That's a good one. I think the thing that Disney has taught me is to find magic in the little moments.
you're going to be all sentimental.
Well, I just from a standpoint, like just like we were saying, like the most magical moments are going to come when you least expect them. So
For
like
sure.
just be open to it. Don't try to force an experience, and I think that's what Disney has taught me, because you go with a mindset of everything that you want to do, and none of it happens, and yet you still leave thinking like this was a really great trip and I want to go back. And yeah. Okay, how about this? How has your connection to Disney changed as you've gotten older?
In the last 10 years. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so
Yeah. A lot happens in 10 years.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
I mean, like for like your connection to Disney, like I think I went from being like a Disney movie fan and a Disney story fan to being a Disney parks fan. Right? Like there have been multiple movies that have come out and I have yet to see them. But
Same.
when I was younger, it would have been like, oh, it's a new Disney movie, I need to go see it. And
But
like,
now when they open something new at Disney World, I'm like, I need to go see
I need to go,
this.
yeah, I need to go see it. Like, yeah, for me, that's been, I think, the biggest change. Um, from a sentimental standpoint, like, I'm now getting to watch people have the memories that I had as a child, family members, my niece, my nephew, my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm getting to watch that through their eyes. So that has
Yeah.
definitely, changed for me. Changed for me too. Just like I'm almost more when I travel with family, I'm more of a bystander and not an active participant, right?
Going with somebody on their first trip is the best. Because you know the feeling of like your first, well, I do because mine was less than 10 years ago, but like
Some of us don't
that
remember.
feeling
Yeah.
that you don't ever have again. Your
Mm-hmm.
first trip, the first time you experience these things, you don't ever get that again until you go to
Yeah.
Shanghai,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Until you
all
go
in a
to
different
Shanghai.
language.
Well, here's what I will say. I'm glad that my first Disney trip or Disneyland trip was with you. Um, yeah, because I think going with someone who had done it before was really nice. It was made it feel like less anxiety on me. But also just like you still let me see and do and experience, and it wasn't like a forced thing. And I think this has a lot to do with who you are as a person. And I didn't mean to get all sentimental and lovey on you today, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Just love bombing you is what's happening. But like I really do mean like this is part of who just like who you are as a person, I think. And um it you even though you were kind of like, oh, you get to go and you get to see somebody do it, you weren't like, oh, but come and do this and then go do this because you're gonna love this. It was like you let me experience it like on my own pace and do the things that I wanted to do. um but having you kind of along for the ride and knowing like you had been there and you'd done it was um made me feel like I was being guided by an expert in their field. So yeah, little plug for Stephanie, but yeah. So that's how I feel about that.
That's how I feel about that.
That I mean that brings us that's all the questions that I had on our Q&A. I want to give a thanks to everybody who submitted questions for us to answer. This was a lot of fun. Just like kind of hearing your opinions on things, and even though like we've only been doing this a short time, like I feel like I also know you very well as a person, so it was fun to be like, oh yeah, I would have guessed that right. um
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know so um that's it. Anything else you want to add for this episode?
I don't think so. I just want to say thank you to the people that are not our moms that listen and are supportive listeners.
Yes.
It's really awesome.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely appreciate all the questions that did not come from our family.
My mom didn't even submit a question. I should take that up with her.
How rude. Yeah, my mother did.
I saw.
But
Love that.
yeah, I appreciate everybody who didn't. Okay, so we did our Q&A episode today. Looking ahead, we are going to be replaying the episode that we referenced as our favorite episode because we unfortunately are a little bit busy next week and don't have time to schedule in an episode to record. So we are going to be resharing the Magic Kingdom top 5 tips and tricks. And then we'll be back to some fun episodes the following week. And I think we may have some news to share at that point with some people. But until then,
Some people.
yeah, just some people, anybody who's listening. But yeah, so we will have a replay. Just unfortunately, there was too much going on for us to have a chance to find time that worked for the both of us to be able to schedule in another episode. But we'll be back on with like a live episode for you on Halloween. So,
Yeah. If it were up to us.
well, you'll just have to listen.